As a young girl, I discovered I was a nymphomaniac.
Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. I'm Matt. This is Christy. That's Alonso. We're talking about Nymphomaniac today. I'll be playing the role of Ben Mankiewicz because I haven't seen the movie.
Nymphomaniac Volume 1.
Oh, right.
Yes. Let's be clear. So yes, it's Lars von Trier's latest, starring his muse of late, Charlotte Gainsbourg and Stellan Skarsgård. Charlotte Gainsbourg is a self-described nymphomaniac, and at the beginning of the film, Stellan Skarsgård finds her in an alley, and she refuses help from an ambulance or the police, but he takes her upstairs for tea, and she relates her entire, very complicated, very bizarre sexual history. Take a look.
What if it's nasty? Then you just think of a bag of chocolate sweeties.
I wanted to be picked up, put down, again and again. I wanted to be treated like a thing, and was starting to have trouble remembering who was who.
I've thought about you often. Have you thought of me?
Wow. Would it be all right if I show the children the whoring bed?
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
So who knew that Lars von Trier was funny?
Well, you know, I mean, he did The Idiots. He's every so often will.
There are blips of funny sometimes in his movies.
Yes, but no, you're right.
He's
For the
not
most part,
known for
he's
being
not a jokester.
Lars von
It's a
Trier.
barrel of laughs.
As the title suggests. Yeah, so I found this really kind of riveting. I mean, like, it's this weirdly sort of Scheherazade thing of you know, Charlotte Gainsbourg just relating this insane story, and Stellan Skarsgård.
1001 Dirty Arabian Nights.
Basically, yeah, you know, 1001 Arabians, and Skarsgård just being kind of compelled and weirdly fascinated by it, and of course this being Lars von Trier, they tie in everything from, you know, the mechanics of fly fishing to the mathematics of Bach. To the uses of a cake fork.
Right, and the Fibonacci sequence is a key part of this.
Right, but it's all relevant to what's going on. Yeah, I wish that they had. I mean, I'm going to watch part 2 tonight because it just became available on demand today. I kind of wish they had just bitten the bullet and released it as a 4-hour movie. I mean, because when it ends, you sort of feel like, okay, this is just like a to be continued. I mean, it doesn't really. This movie doesn't stand alone. It really kind of, you know, expects you to watch the rest of it to get the full thing. And so. And
then there's a teaser though during the credits of what you're going to see in Volume 2, and you know that she's going to go to deeper and darker and more self-loathing places.
Well, and the stories are going to finally start including Charlotte Gainsbourg, because at this point she's talking about her younger years, and so an actress named Stacy Martin is playing the, you know, younger Charlotte Gainsbourg and doing all of this bananas stuff with various bosses and strangers and,
She's doing
and whatnot.
stuff?
Strangers on a train.
Lots of strangers on a train. Yeah, not actual bananas, but
that
maybe in part 2. I don't
right,
know.
we get into the produce section.
Yeah, and apparently none of the actors in the movie had actual penetrative sex,
yes,
but
that's the gimmick here.
Somebody did, because there's a few shots where it's like, okay, I don't think that's fake.
Right, that's the thing that's like, if you stick around for the whole end of the credits,
right.
there is this disclaimer that no actual actors had penetrative sex during this. Supposedly, like, they did body doubles and CGI like Shia LaBeouf's face onto some guy.
Right.
It's pretty seamless if that is indeed the case.
I mean, like, you know, and the thing is, I think this is the kind of thing that if you haven't gone to a lot of art house movies in the last 10 or 20 years, this seems shocking or new, but, you know, Catherine Breillat does it all the time. Stranger by the Lake, which came out not long ago, included some
Short Bus was
Short Bus.
That was the whole gimmick behind Short Bus.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's not unheard of that you know that you can have an art film that has actual, you know, boning in it. But I mean, this is a movie, I think, that's sort of textbook. It is sexual, but it's not sexy. Like, if
There's
people,
nothing arousing about it.
If people expect this to be erotic in any way, or turn on, no.
Yeah, no. It's very stripped down in that Lars von Trier kind of a dogma way, where he's not judging her for her actions. We are up very close and very personal for them, but is totally devoid of any kind of emotion or judgment. It's all the stripped down aesthetic that he forged with his buddies.
Although the movie, it doesn't let her off the hook as far as the repercussions of her actions. There's an amazing sequence with Uma Thurman.
That's like one of the best parts of the whole movie.
Oh God, she's amazing. Uma Thurman plays like this wronged wife who turns up at her apartment when, you know, when Uma's husband wants to leave her for the Charlotte Gainsbourg character, and shows up with their kids in tow.
Three little
and
boys
it
looking sad.
Yeah, oh God, it's hilarious and it's awkward and it's raw and it is.
She's like passive aggressive and angry and it's good.
Yeah,
It's funny.
it's amazing. It's like wow, Uma Thurman became Joan Allen. Who knew?
And it's like a whole different movie in the height of the emotion of it.
Yes, definitely, because the rest of it,
rage.
there's a certain austerity to the rest of it, even when outrageous things are happening. Like it's done in a very, not clinical, but it's not in a woohoo,
It's
like
not artfully lighted and
exactly.
romantic.
There's no bucka wow going on here.
Yeah, no, like the scene where she has her virginity taken from her is a prime example of that. I mean, they quantify elements of it.
It becomes a numbers game basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are down with what Lars von Trier does, if you liked Melancholia, or even I did not like Antichrist, but I loved Melancholia.
I love Zentropa. I love Breaking the Waves. I like early Lars von Trier. I'm not fond of that whole experimental Dogville Mandrelay stage that he was in, but I love Melancholia. And it's funny, there's the whole rap of, is he a misogynist? Does he hate women? I would argue no, and I would argue no even in this film, despite the degrading things that his lead character does to herself, because I don't think he's judging her. I think he's fascinated by the complexity of women. And you look at the actresses who've appeared in his films, and they're all tremendous actresses, from Catherine Deneuve to Nicole Kidman to Charlotte Gainsbourg over and over again. I don't think he hates her.
They're too smart to work with a guy who's a misogynist, I think. And I think that he's more interested in exploring the female condition in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not always in an affirming, you go girl sort of way, and maybe that can get you tarred sometimes as being anti-feminist, but I don't think that really applies in this case.
Yeah, it's not sexy, but it's funny and it's always surprising. And when part one ended, and it's all of 2 hours long, like I'm looking forward to seeing part two, even though I know it's going to get ugly and it's going to make you uncomfortable. That's his bread and butter. That's what he does. And so again, as you say, if you like him, this is a good exercise.
Yeah, and if you've never seen him before, this is probably one of the more accessible ones that you could start with this one, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, in that it's not totally dark.
Right.
Right. There's I mean, all the conversations with Stellan Skarsgård are a source of perspective and also a source of great unexpected humor.
Yeah,
his reactions to her stories are just absurd.
Yeah, and they're humane too, which you don't always get from Mr. von Trier.
Yeah.
So
okay, so what's your number?
I give this an 8.
I give it a 7. We are at 7.5. Go ahead.
It's about 80% on the tomato meter right now.
Yeah, and I think we all walked into this kind of like, ooh, what's it gonna be? And it's really not at all what you think it's gonna be.
No, it's a movie about sex, but it's not a movie about sex, But yeah, I'm excited about Volume 2.
We'll come back and we'll review Volume 2 when it comes out in a few weeks. So.
Definitely.
Thanks, bye.